The city never sleeps. Lagos. A place where dreams are born, and sometimes buried. From the glowing lights of Victoria Island to the restless streets of Ikeja, life moves fast. Hustle is the language. Survival is the culture. And for many, morality becomes a luxury they cannot afford. In the heart of this chaos, lived a woman whose story would shake nations. Her name was Sandra. Sandra was beautiful. Not just the kind of beauty that turned heads, but the kind that made people stop and stare. But behind that beauty was pain. She lived a double life. At night, she was a high-end escort, moving between luxury hotels, driven in expensive cars by men who never asked questions. During the day, she was just another face in the crowd. Unknown. Unseen. Forgotten. But Sandra didn't start this way. Years ago, she was just a young girl from Benin City. Raised in a modest home. A dreamer. She wanted to be a nurse. She wanted to help people. But life had other plans. Her mother fell sick. Her father had bills piled up. Hunger became a daily reality. And desperation opened a door she never thought she would walk through. At first, it was just once. Then twice. Then survival became a habit. And sin became her identity. Years passed. Sandra became known in elite circles. Money flowed. But peace? Nowhere to be found. Every night, after the parties. After the laughter. After the fake smiles. She would sit alone in her apartment. Silent. Empty. Broken. She would stare at herself in the mirror and whisper. Who have I become? But the next night, she would go back. Because she believed she had no way out. One night changed everything. It was supposed to be just another client. A wealthy Nigerian businessman visiting from London. But this man was different. He didn't touch her. He didn't flirt. Instead, he asked her a question. Do you believe God still sees you? Sandra laughed. A cold, bitter laugh. God? Not someone like me. The man looked at her, with compassion. I used to think the same. Until he found me. He then said something she would never forget. You are not too far gone. Those words pierced her soul. That night, Sandra couldn't sleep. The words echoed in her mind. You are not too far gone. For the first time in years, she cried. Not for money. Not for survival. But for herself. Memories flooded back. Her childhood. Her innocence. Her dreams. And then, she fell to her knees. Right there in her apartment. And whispered. God, if you are real, find me. Days later, something strange happened. She found herself walking past a small church. The kind she would normally ignore. But this time, she stopped. There was singing inside. Voices lifted in worship. Something pulled her in. She hesitated. Then walked in quietly, and sat at the back. The pastor began to speak. And it felt like every word was directed at her. Some of you think you are too dirty for God. Too broken. Too sinful. But grace does not ask for perfection. Tears rolled down her face. Uncontrollably. That day, Sandra surrendered her life to God. But transformation was not instant. Her old life didn't let go easily. Clients kept calling. Money tempted her. Friends mocked her. Sandra, this church thing won't feed you. You'll be back. And for a moment, she almost was. One night, she picked up the phone. Ready to return. But something stopped her. A quiet voice within. You prayed for a way out, this is it. She dropped the phone. And chose God. Choosing God came with a price. She lost her income. Lost her friends. Lost her lifestyle. At one point, she had nothing. No money. No support. But she had something new. Peace. For the first time in years, she could sleep. Months turned into years. Sandra grew. Spiritually. Emotionally. Mentally. She began serving in church. Helping other women. Sharing her story. At first, it was small gatherings. Then youth meetings. Then conferences. Her story spread. From Lagos, to Abuja. Then beyond Nigeria. To Nigerians in the diaspora. London. Canada. The US. Her voice carried a message. No one is beyond redemption. One day, during prayer, she felt it clearly. A calling. Not just to share her story, but to preach. To stand boldly. To declare the power of transformation. She resisted at first. God, not me. But the calling grew stronger. Until she said yes. Years later. A massive crowd gathered. Thousands of people. Men. Women. Young. Old. Some broken. Some searching. All waiting. Sandra stepped onto the stage. No longer the woman of the night. But a woman of purpose. She looked at the crowd. Took a deep breath. And began. I was once lost. I was once broken. I was once a woman the world had written off. But God. The crowd went silent. Her voice grew stronger. If He could change me, He can change you. Tears filled the eyes of many. Lives began to shift. Hope was reborn. And in that moment, the woman who once sold her body for survival was now saving souls through her story. The city still never sleeps. But somewhere within it, light is rising. Because one woman chose to believe. She was not too far gone.